Listen, mate, everyone knows that reading books makes you smart, right? And there is no book more popular and well-known than the Bible, except the Harry Potter books. Mate, they're a cult phenomenon, but they've already been made into a movie franchise, right? So you don't have to bother reading them. But the Bible doesn't have that yet, which is where I come in. Listen, I've made 2 videos already on it, right? But let's continue our Bible study sessions with the lesser-known details of the Noah's Ark story, which make it like 100 times more batshit insane than you already know. Let's go. Okay, so the story of Noah opens up about 1600 years after Adam and Eve, right? And everyone on Earth is just getting along with each other and living peacefully. Ha! Just kidding, mate. Everyone is fucking horrible. Yeah, mate. Like, God seriously did a shit job on his first attempt at trying to make mankind. It says, right, that every imagination of mankind is evil continually, so much so that God fully regrets making humans and he wants to kill them all. Lovely. By the way, I know we've just started the story, but I do want to make a quick side point, right? 5 chapters ago in Genesis 1, when God made man, he did make him in his own image. And now they're all evil as fuck. Huh, not a good advertisement for God, is it? Anyways, so God sees that humanity is all evil as fuck, right? And decides that he wants to start afresh by killing all the humans. And for some reason, right, all the animals too. What? Like, whoa, mate, what did the animals do to deserve that? What are you killing all of them for? Not bad. Again, right, wonder where all that continuous evil in man came from. Do you know what I mean? But turns out, right, thank God, that there is one good man in the world, named Noah. And God decides that he is to be saved. Thank fuck, mate! So there is hope for humanity after all. And God then goes on to give Noah the most unreasonable request ever made. And listen, of course everyone knows what this request is, right? To build that massive boat and save 2 of every animal. But I don't think people know all the details on just how stupid and fucking unreasonable this request would soon become. Here, let me tell you. Okay, so God tells Noah to make an ark, right? And put 2 of every animal, 1 male and 1 female, in there. But no non-binary ones. Transform! But let's discuss the lesser-known details of this story. 1. Dimensions. Listen, in Genesis 6:15, right, God tells Noah exactly the dimensions to make the ark, right, and tells him to make it 300 cubits long, which is about 135 meters. Mate, that's bigger than Jeff Bezos' super yacht, right, which is the largest sailing yacht in the world. And Noah has to make one bigger than that, all by himself, right? Back in the time when they had no electricity or power tools. And this is the treatment that Noah gets for being the only good human on the planet. What the fuck? 2. Age. Listen, in Genesis 5, right, which is the chapter right before Noah's Ark, we're told that people routinely lived for like 800 and 900 years. Yeah, mate! Like back then, right, supposedly, dying at 600 years old would be a situation of, he died so young. But at the start of Genesis 6, right, out of nowhere, right, God decides to say enough of that and randomly decides to limit people's life expectancies to 120 years. Why? But whatever, right, let's assume that he had a really good reason for limiting people's lifespans to 120 years. Alright? But mate, Noah is 500 fucking years old. So right after deciding that 120 years is too old for any human to live past, right, he then tasks a man who is 4 times older than that to spend 100 fucking years building a super yacht all by himself. Motherfucker. And mate, why didn't God just make the ark himself? Like, for fuck's sake, right, you built the entire universe in 6 days. Would it kill you to spend like, what, half a second or whatever it would take you to make it, right? To save this frail 500-year-old man from having to spend 100 fucking years doing it instead? No? You lazy bastard! And of course, right, the ark was built to protect everyone from the flood. Because in case you don't know, right, floods fucking suck. Yeah, mate, but you know what sucks even more than a flood that wipes out all life on Earth? Not having any data when you go on holiday. Well, much like the ark, right, that's where Saley comes in and saves the day. And with a freebie voucher for you guys watching this video. Not to be dramatic, right? But being in a new place like on holiday and not having any data is a fucking nightmare. Because data is what lets you Google from places to check out, use Google Maps to get there, call or text your mates and family to come join you, and watch funny videos to entertain yourself while you wait. But without data, right, you're not doing any of that. Sucks. And you'll be crying enough tears to cause a biblical flood yourself. But with Saily, right, all your problems are fixed. You can choose as many gigabytes as you need, right? You can choose wherever you need, because Saily's services cover over 150 countries, and for cheaper than any other competing eSIM company that offers the same thing. And it's not just for holidays, right? You can also use it in your home location to get more data when you need a quick top-up. Mate, it's actually amazing. What more could you want? But I'll give you more anyways. Because they agreed that if you go to Saily.com/GradeA and use code GradeA, mate, the first 5,000 people to do so will get a 1 gigabyte Saily data plan for free. Holy shit, mate. How chill as fuck is Saily? Again, mate, it's a genuinely amazing service as it is, right? But try it out for yourself, mate. Go to Saily.com/GradeA and use code GradeA to get 1 gigabyte of data for absolutely fucking free. Go take advantage of that shit now, mate. No, seriously, right? Why did God not just make the ark himself? It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Because God is upset about how much sin there is in the world, right? And he wants to start afresh with Noah. Right. So why sit back and wait 100 more sinful years with everyone else sinning away, with God being sad as fuck waiting for Noah to slowly build his ark, right? When God could have literally clicked his fingers and made an ark in 2 seconds, got all the animals on in 3 seconds, told Noah to gather his wife and kids and pack their stuff and get on the ark, right? And had the flood started in half an hour. But then even that solution would be confusing as fuck, right? Because Noah was told that the flood will last 40 days and 40 nights. But God made the entire universe in 6 days. Mate, so why not just make another Planet Earth version 2.0 real quick, right? And start afresh there. Like, Jesus Christ, man, God is so confusing. And not to mention how using a flood as the method to wipe out all life on Earth makes no sense either, right? Because it doesn't kill fucking fishes, does it? Like they say, right, that 50 to 80% of all life lives in the oceans, and God chooses death by water to kill everything. Mate, I forgot what number I'm on, right? Animals! Mate, forget building the ark, right? Just the animal side of God's request of Noah is unreasonable as fuck in itself. Look, Noah is told to bring a male and female of every animal species, no matter how dangerous they are. Look, mate, good luck with those tigers and lions and alligators and chavs and grizzly bears. And not to mention, the most dangerous species of them all, according to TikTok, males. But anyways, and not just mammals, right? Noah is specifically told to also save every creeping thing too. Mate, Noah's gonna die. And not only that, right? But don't forget to keep the prey apart from the predators so they don't kill each other. And do some proper good planning and calculations to give them all the space they need, right? And bring enough food to keep them all alive too. In short, mate, go and get a fucking zoology degree to know which animals should be kept apart and what to feed them and how to handle them, etc, etc. Even Steve Irwin died from a fucking stingray, right? But I'm sure you'll do much better. Good luck, you frail 500-year-old prick. Right, so God's instructions to Noah are pretty straightforward, right? Gather 2 of every animal in existence, build a literal super yacht to keep them in, and bring enough food to last everyone and all the animals on board for the 40-day flood. And God tells him this 100 years in advance before it actually happens, right? So he has plenty of time to do it all. Easy peasy. But it isn't easy peasy at all, right? Because of one incy-wincy small problem. God makes the upcoming flood difficult as fuck for Noah, to the point where I'm genuinely surprised that Noah even survived, in 2 different ways. 1, the animals. Okay, so Noah takes the information God gave him, right, and starts allocating ark space to each animal, calculating how much food is needed to feed 2 of each animal for 40 days, and he starts his meticulous planning and building over the next 100 years. But then, right, literally 7 days before the flood's about to happen, God comes to Noah and says, actually, bring 14 of every mammal and bird instead. What? Mate, what the fuck? Listen, this is actually hilarious, right? Because it's so unreasonable of God to do. And I'm not joking either. Again, right, 100 years after first telling Noah about the upcoming flood, and the plan stayed the same for 100 years, namely to bring 2 of every animal, just 7 days before it's actually about to happen, right? God changes his mind and makes Noah save 7 times as many of a shitload of animals, right? For no reason at all, giving Noah no time to rearrange the ark to accommodate him. Brilliant! Gonna have to make this food last somehow, aren't we? But doing so will be even harder to do still, right? Because of 2, the flood. Mate, the flood was an absolute shit show. Even more so than the animals. Okay, so Noah was told with full confidence, right, that the flood was gonna last 40 days and 40 nights. So obviously you'd hear that and plan to bring 40 days worth of food. Actually make it 60 days worth of food, right? So you can enjoy yourself. But mate, God then forgets about Noah. What? Yeah, mate. It literally says that God then remembered Noah and all the animals. How insane is that? Like, what the fuck was God doing that he forgot about the only good human on earth? Anyways, right, so we're told with full confidence, right, that the flood would be 40 days and 40 nights, right? Right. But then we're told that the waters lasted for 150 days. Wait. What? That's a lot more than 40, God. And then we're told that they finally got off the ark a full year and 10 days after they first got on. Which is way more than fucking 40, God. Seriously, right, this chapter is so confusing, right? And there's so many inconsistencies, I don't even know where to start, right? But all in all, right, God made Noah meticulously prepare for 100 years, only to last second have him have to save 7 times as many animals, and to make the food that he had last 9 times longer than planned for. What a dick! By the way, let's be honest, right? There is no way that Noah survived this flood. He had 40 days worth of food to last over a year. Mate, that's fully impossible. Listen, I guarantee you he died, right? And God realized way after, but he just made some new humans out of some dirt, called one of them Noah, and acted like nothing happened. When we all know what actually happened, God, rest in peace, Noah. You deserve better, mate. But God did also inadvertently make him take an excess of animals too, right? Which Noah could have cooked up for food, right? Which means that he could have survived after all. Which makes this one of the rare occasions where 2 wrongs did end up making a right. Well played, God. Not gonna lie, right? I do have more to say, but this video is well long enough already, mate. So I'll end it here. Tired, innit? And my voice is going fucking out. But mate, I've been casually reading more of the Bible, right, to get more stories. And I said in my first video that the story of Sodom and Gomorrah was the wildest story I've ever read, right? Well, I'll take that back. Cause there's another story that's even fucking wilder than that. It's an absolute beast of a story, right? But as always, I will make sure I keep it 100% accurate to the Bible and tell you it exactly as it's told. Because it is fucking insane. So look forward to that. Alright, cheers boys. Peace.